Hello everyone! Today I finally finished the Persephone 3 Lite. In this video I will show you how you can make one yourself. This time you will need Raspberry Pi Pico instead of the Arduino Pro Micro. I will be using Raspberry Pi since that's what the new SteamVR firmware uses. Of course I'm still using the same MPU 6500 gyroscope board. Of course you can use a better one if you have one laying around. You will also need a quite long USB cable, which will be connected between the Raspberry Pi board and your computer. Just make sure to get the USB cable with shorter USB plug, otherwise it may not fit inside the headset. If you don't have a proper USB cable, you can simply remove excess rubber using your knife. If done correctly, your cable should fit inside the headset without any issues. Just make sure you will not break it when putting it inside the plastic part. So first I will solder the MPU board directly to the Raspberry Pi Pico. The wiring is actually super simple. Voltage goes to voltage, ground goes to ground, SCL and SDA goes to pin 5 and pin 4. As you can see, everything is working perfectly. Before installing any electronics, I will solder this piece of wire, which will be used to power the display driver board. I will connect this cable to the same voltage pins that the gyroscope is using. And here you can see all of the connections. It doesn't look very good, but it will work beautifully. So now you can connect your USB cable and install the Raspberry Pi Pico inside your headset. You can use self-tapping screws to secure everything together. For the MPU board, I recommend using those simple plastic washers, since the mounting holes are a bit too big. So far it should look like this. Also make sure that your USB cable is going through this hole right here. Okay, so now it's time to install the display driver board. This piece is quite big, so I've had to cut out the corners, otherwise it just wouldn't fit. Before installing the board, make sure you have the FFC cable connected. The board itself goes directly on those plastic pins, which hold it in place, and make sure it's in correct height. After installing the board, you can melt those pieces down so that they will hold the board in place. Make sure your power cable comes out from this side, since you will have to solder it directly to the driver board. You should solder the voltage wires to those pins right here. I've connected the whole thing to my PC, and as you can see, both boards power up. Okay, so let's put the headset aside for now and let's focus on the displays. I will be using those cheap dual displays that you can get on AliExpress. This black piece right here is a display frame. It will hold both displays at the correct position. Both panels should go inside without any hassle. If they do not, however, it means that your printer needs some calibration. To install the display module, first connect the big ribbon cable. Just make sure you are connecting it the right way. Blue strip should go on top. Now that you have it connected, push whole thing inside the headset. Just like with the driver board, I've melted those plastic pillars, which will hold the display case. Most of the headset is now complete. Everything is working perfectly so far. The SteamVR support is fully functional as well. It's only 3 degrees of freedom, however, since I didn't add any ping pong balls this time. So I've got these Fresnel lenses from AliExpress, and I will use them to make my own custom VR optics. Both lenses are 70mm in diameter, but for one eye you will need one Fresnel lens with 40mm focal length and one lens with 30. Before I do any actual work, I will cover all of the lenses with Kapton tape. This will prevent any scratches. You don't have to cover the lenses perfectly, as the Kapton tape serves only as protective film. I will cut out excess tape once the lens is fully covered from both sides. Now that the top side is covered, you can flip the lens upside down and do the same from the other side. After removing all of the excess Kapton tape, you should now have perfectly protected lens. Now repeat all of the steps for the other 3 lenses and you will be ready for some cutting. I've did some work in Fusion 360 in order to find the perfect shape for the lenses. I wanted to cut out as little of the lens as possible while still making it quite comfortable. The small hole in the middle is meant to simulate the center of the lenses. I wanted to check if I can get it right in front of my eye without making them super uncomfortable. So now comes the trimming part of the video. I've prepared those two small plastic pieces, which will hold the lenses in place while also giving me a cutting outline. The idea is pretty simple. I put both lenses at once inside the plastic part, hold them together with something like vise and trim them out with rotary tool. After cutting, I will use compressed air to clean out any debris. And now I can remove the vise and see how it went. As you can see, the lenses are in perfect shape. Those are an exact copy of what I've designed. There are a couple of rough edges from the Kapton tape, but you can easily cut them out with X-Acto knife. And now basically I will have to repeat all of the cutting for the other lenses. With the lenses finished, I can now begin the assembly. I've designed this small plastic frame which perfectly fits the lenses. I've did it mostly for testing, since the final piece will most likely need a couple of adjustments. Of course now I will have to remove all of the Kapton tape, since it's not needed anymore. As you can see, there are 0 scratches on the lens and it turned out perfectly. Now I can put both lenses inside the plastic frame. The stronger lens goes inside first, and now the second lens goes directly on top of it. I've also designed this small plastic bracket which goes directly on top of the whole assembly. It will prevent the lenses from falling out. Of course I will secure it in place using a couple of 1.4mm self-tapping screws. You should be super careful during this part, as the screwdriver can easily slip and ruin the lenses. And that's pretty much how I've made my own pseudo pancake lenses. As it turns out, I will have to cut the lenses slightly more at the bottom to make them fit better inside my headset. Here is the main visor. This part connects your face with the headset. I've designed this piece for IPD58, since that's how close my eyes are. So now we can install the lenses. First up is the stronger one. It should go inside the plastic part without any issues. And now I install the second one. It goes directly on top of the first one. I've installed the lenses for the other eye as well, and now I'm ready to install the lens blockers. But first let's install the whole thing inside my headset. It's a pretty tight fit, so be careful not to damage anything. And now for those lens blockers. These parts are actually optional. You have to use them only if your lenses are loosely fitted or are falling out. I've basically put them on top of the lenses and melted them together with the main visor part. The headset is now pretty much fully functional. It still misses some stuff though. Before continuing further, you should clean the lenses using alcohol wipes. So now let's install the headband mounts. I will be using the same ones as in my previous Persephone 2. To attach those pieces, you will need 2 self-tapping screws. The installation is super simple. Put the self-tapping screw inside the hole and screw whole thing to your headset. It should now look like this. It should be compatible with all of the Quest 2 head straps, even the Chinese ones. So now let's attach the head strap. I will be using the same one as in Persephone 2. And now the headset should be pretty much finished. You can now connect it to your PC and test it out. Size-wise, the Persephone 3 is way smaller than the previous one. It has different lens setup and different screen, so you can get it way closer to your face. Of course, it's fully functional. You can play all of the SteamVR games on it. It's also fully compatible with Hades VR controllers. Of course, you will have to build an Arduino receiver to connect the controllers with your headset. It's super hard to show you the image inside the headset, since my phone just won't fit inside the visor. I promise you, however, that it looks super nice when it's on my face. Anyway, that's all for today. Thanks for watching everyone, and hope to see you in the next video. And as always, huge thanks to my patrons. See you later and goodbye.